Hey, I'm TheLoopyAlchemist, and welcome back to Let's Play Skyrim. Well, alright, right up front I need to promise that this is not going to be a pretty episode. It is me walking from one end of the map to the other, and once jumping off a waterfall and I think dying. So, yeah, it's... gameplay-wise, not too much is going to be going on, but that really doesn't matter because I have a lot more to talk about. Even if the gameplay was interesting, I would still be talking about something else, and if you have been watching this LP all the way through, or any of my LPs, you would know that with me that is usually just the case. Alright, well, a couple days ago, this spectacular 8-minute CGI trailer got released for The Elder Scrolls Online, and I am beyond pumped. I'm not too excited about having to get a next generation console to have to play it, but oh well, it's worth it. And yes, I'm aware, PC, but come on, I don't want to have to get a new gaming PC to have to run it. I'm thinking I'll probably go for it on the Xbox One. Now, I might have talked about this in a video, I'm not sure, but I hated the Xbox One when it first got released, and well, basically it was entirely the DRM thing, and I'm still wondering whether or not they might reinstate that. Hopefully not, but hey, you never know. So, it's not just the Elder Scrolls Online. Now, of course, I'm aware it has it for the PS4 as well, but I've had a 360 for a long time and really like Xbox Live. Now, I've heard that it doesn't work quite the same on the Xbox One as it does on the 360, but I'm kind of counting on an update making that better, but who knows, we will wait and see. But yeah, that's just kind of where I'm leaning on at the moment. Also, I've got other friends on Xbox and all that good stuff. Also, I just really, really like the controller, which is probably the biggest factor for me. Just, yeah. Anyways, everyone's probably wondering what alliance I'm planning on going. Well, I don't know. Politically, I like the Daggerfall Covenant the best, just because it seems like the best way to go. But then again, in Elder Scrolls, I always play as a Nord, so yeah, there's that. But the Ebonheart Pact, I don't know. It kind of seems like they're already all almost at each other's throats. But that's just the impression I get from an episode I did on the lore of the Elder Scrolls Online way, way back a long time ago, before we didn't really know that much. One thing that makes me reluctant to join the Ebonheart Pact is I'm not sure how this works, so don't quote me on that, but it seems like you're allowed to wander within the boundaries of your own alliance, like freely, but you might have some restrictions on going over to the other provinces. Now, again, I don't know, I just randomly heard that somewhere, so if that's wrong, please by all means post that in the comments. But that's kind of a big thing. If it is like that, it really amounts to what provinces do I want to see the most. And to be honest, that would probably be either Daggerfall Covenant or Eldmeri Dominion, because I would really love to get a good look at the Somerset Isles. I mean, hey, I could probably just get 3 accounts and play on all 3 alliances, but I don't know, am I that hardcore? I don't know, maybe if I can grow this channel I can justify getting 3 separate accounts to do stuff in. Or maybe you can just go freely from province to province, which would honestly be the best. But yeah, not entirely sure. One thing that has me really also super hyped is the Imperial Edition, which is like $100, but it lets you play as an Imperial, which, but you can just choose whatever alliance you want to go on to. Plus, it comes with a statue of Molag Bal, who doesn't want one of those things, a book about the lore, and a map of Cyrodiil. And I already have a map of Cyrodiil from the Elder Scrolls Anthology, which I really need to get to doing like a unboxing video type thing on. It will happen eventually, probably like when the time the Elder Scrolls 7 comes out. I'll finally ah, God, I cannot talk. Sorry, I just finished finals. I cannot yeah, whatever. I'll get a video done on that. Alright, well, if you listened to the extremely tired me talking in the last version, last episode of this LP, I'm still not making sense. I was talking about kind of my dream DLC, and like the last 15 seconds, I described, basically, it's, I'm, I'm still here, I'm just trying to think of the right words. It was where you're following up on an expedition that went to Atmora and no one else has heard from it. So you get on a boat, you head up there, and you find that they're all dead except maybe one, and he's gone completely insane. And then you have to find out just what the heck is going on. So you're exploring Atmora. Now, I'm aware it's an entire continent. That would be hard to do for DLC, but there are a lot of really neat programming tricks that you could use to get around it. Like, say it's always storming or whatever, so you just see a blizzard, not much draw distance, and you don't have to actually create assets for more than a few places. And honestly, they kind of did that in Morrowind, like with the fog that keeps the draw distance way down. It's not the exact same thing, but I'm more advocating you're kind of following maybe like an apparition around when it's just snowing, and wow, I just had a premonition of myself dying. Trying to go across there would be stupid. Yeah. But basically, like, say you need to go like from the beach to some crypt. It's blizzarding all around, you follow this like ghostly apparition thing, and with that you could kind of keep it down, or as I even mentioned last time, I think, it could just be a very small part of Atmora you're exploring, and you can have some cop-out explanation, like maybe cliffs, magical barriers, other stuff that stops you from going places, and maybe the thing that killed the expedition is some unspeakable evil that you need to stop from getting to Tamriel. Like, actually a good way to do it would be, there's the legend of Hermaeus Mora, which was called Hermamora by the Proto-Nords, like kidnapping people in forests and eating them. Hermaeus Mora means, I know some part of that name means wood or some type of tree or something vaguely forest related. um, Yeah, but either way, there's a lot of stuff you could do for that, and especially if you're doing it for the Elder Scrolls Online or the Elder Scrolls 6, it would even be a great way to introduce the Thu'um into that game. Like, you could learn it up there, and it would just be kind of a nice callback to Skyrim, and you'd get a lot of cool powers as well. And if you really want to go hardcore, you could maybe make a temple and have, like, hieroglyphs prophesizing the Dragonborn and him fighting Elduin, that, which would just honestly be my dream DLC. Well, actually, my dream DLC would be Akvir, but this is the one involving another continent that I think is the most practical to do. So Bethesda, by all means, go ahead and do this. I'd happily write the lore for it. Now, a lot of people are wondering, like, how can I word this? But basically, a lot of people ask me to do episodes on Roscrea and Black Harbor, which are kind of the smaller islands. Black Harbor was where it's almost halfway in between Tamriel and Akavir, and it's where Uriel Septim, the Fifth's invasion, was kind of headquartered, and he conquered all these like tiny islands, including Roscrea, I believe, in kind of preparation for the invasion of Akvir. A lot of people wanted me to do episodes on them, get more info, but the reason I don't is the same reason I don't have an episode on Eldmaris. There just isn't enough info. Like, we don't even have a definite location for them. Anytime you will see them on a map, that map is fan-made. And honestly, I'd like to... Those islands would make great DLC chunks too, as well, but honestly, I just don't see it happening. As I've probably mentioned before, I think if we are going to see Akavir, it's probably going to be as an add-on for The Elder Scrolls Online. Once The Elder Scrolls Online turns 10 or something, and ZeniMax needs to introduce some new content into the Elder Scrolls universe to spice things up and keep people playing it. Which might be kind of a cynical way to look at it, but honestly I think it makes sense. And honestly, until you get to a certain level, I find these taggers are the most dangerous things in the game. One thing that would be really awesome about doing Black Harbor as a DLC is you could get all the assets made, and then modders would have no problem making the actual continent itself. But honestly, I think if you're going to touch Akavir, you may as well just go all in. Also, other people have asked me to make an entire speculation video about what the plotline of The Elder Scrolls 6 would be. I even think I've talked about this in previous videos. So yeah, this is what this episode is. Since I'm not really doing anything, it's basically just me talking about all the random requests I get, because I'm too lazy to actually make those videos, and frankly too busy as well. What I think the plotline of The Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be, I think it has to involve the Second Great War in some way. I mean, that's just far too big to really just skip over, unless you want to jump ahead a lot again, which I really don't think they're going to do. But again, it kind of depends on what scenario you're going to do. Like, if the Empire is going to be victorious and defeat the second Eldmeri Dominion, which, by the way, some people say is the third Eldmeri Dominion, and honestly, I've looked around and can't find evidence pointing to this. If I make a mistake in my video, I have no problem going back to correct it. In fact, I'd like to do it because I like to keep these as accurate as possible. But the reason I'm still calling it the second one is because I haven't seen an exact place where it says that there are 3 separate Eldmeri Dominions. So if someone has like a link to the wiki or a book or a definite proof, by all means please let me know. So if the Empire is going to be victorious and take down that Eldmeri Dominion, I think we're going to be playing as it, probably alongside the Emperor, or maybe as the Emperor himself. Like, we could do some Fable 3 type stuff and actually be king, which would be interesting to see, but I don't think they'd really do in an Elder Scrolls game, but that would make a pretty funny mod, actually. Yeah. And if it's the downfall scenario, where the Empire gets defeated, we're probably going to be playing as it after the fact. Oh hey, it's the Vigil Stendar. And yeah, I still have a lot more Oh, what? Oh, holy crap. These are vampires. Huh. Is that... No, that's a vampire. Why did it say Vigil Stendar? Did my game glitch out, or... Alright, well, I'm just gonna kill you with a really sweet animation, because... Yeah, death to vampires. Filthy blood-sucking freaks. Ugh. You're not even sparkling. What the hell's the matter with you? And I hate myself for that reference, and... Alright, well, at least I got free money. And by the way, in case you couldn't notice by my feelings on vampires, Dawn Guard all the way. I remember back when Twilight was really huge, this ThinkGeek, this really awesome website, had a t-shirt with a bloody stake in it that said Team Van Helsing. I really wanted to get, but for some reason they only made them in, like, they're all women shirts. Why can't you make a unisex version of that? But, oh well, no one would, the Twilight crowd wouldn't get that reference, so it's kind of self-defeating, but, oh well, I still would have liked to have it. Alright, well, kind of back to the Elder Scrolls Online. Now, alright, I guess, no wait, it was the Elder Scrolls 6 I was talking about, which, yeah. So, definitely, I think the Second Great War has to be featured it in some way. Now, what is the main thing going to be? I'd really like to see an Akfury invasion, but that would be extremely hard to pull off, and just how you'd work it and everything. Um, we of course have the Daedra going crazy, but that feels a bit overused. Like, it's not exactly what's happening in Morrowind or Skyrim, but there's generally some huge mystical thing going wrong. But if you think about that as every Elder Scrolls game, but with Oblivion and the Elder Scrolls Online with the Daedra going crazy, it really feels like you'd kind of be beating that trope to death. Now, it's not that you couldn't do a good job with it, but I don't know, I really like to see kind of something new, and besides, it almost seems like most people don't even really do the main quest, like, or give it priority anyways, which, by the way, I'm just kind of generalizing it and what I've seen on YouTube, but yeah, how could you make a really... I mean, personally, I got pulled into the main quests of all those games, but I don't know. I'm not a quest designer, so yeah, I don't really know how to solve that, but honestly, yeah, I'd probably just do some crazy evil mystical thing, because Great War or an invasion would be hard to do, but then again, with next generation hardware, you could probably put all three of those types of quests. And what is trying to kill me now? Oh, geez, stupid necromancers. Yeah. One other thing I'd really like to see is kind of my dream Daedric quests, which is... It would be like one with Vermina, the Daedric Prince of... I forget what the technical title is, but she's like basically Bad Dreams. It's her quest in Dawnstar where you have to escort that priest to remove the evil skull thing from Shadowcrawler Temple that's giving everyone Dawnstar nightmares, but where you drink the miasma LSD, and then you'd actually get to see a bunch of stuff from previous games, like go on this crazy drug trip and see the entire Jagger Thorn kidnapping Uriel VII, and Arena, the Warp in the West from Daggerfall, the Nerevarine prophecies and Dagoth Ur and all that good stuff in Morrowind, Oblivion, Crisis, and what's-his-face, Mehrunes Dagon, coming into the world and basically wreaking havoc in the Imperial City. I'm just listing all the Elder Scrolls games, but yeah, fighting Alduin and Sovngarde, and even the Redguard and Battlespire, all that good stuff, which would take a lot of effort to produce, but would just be the best Easter egg quest ever, pretty much. And yeah, wow, this was the random episode to end all random episodes, as far as just stuff I talked about. But we are finally here, and next time we will climb the throat of the world, get to the Greybeards, and actually start doing Dragonborn stuff, and get slightly more on topic at least. Alright, well, as far as the next Elder Scrolls lore episodes go, episode goes, with just being super busy, I haven't actually started on the next one yet, but I have a couple of topics kicking around my head. Now, they're pretty cool, but also, like everything I do, super obscure, and they will take a while to research properly. But in the meantime, as I always say, if you have a special request, please by all means let me know. Now, I'm extremely reluctant to say what the topic is before I start, but I'm not going to change my policy. So, with that, I'm the Loopy Alchemist. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you next time.